Hey everybody, it's the Gavin Spy and welcome back to RPG Maker. We are finally going to be mapping another, map. The last time I did this was probably about 3 years ago now, and I did say I was going to do more. And I've felt the urge recently, so we're going to. I think what I want to do for this map, I'm not really sure. I want to go for maybe like a waterfall, like small little village with some height differences. I don't know. We'll just wing it, you know. So we'll call this Lake Village. We will use the outside. Width and height, I think it's probably going to be taller than it is wider. So let's go with, let's see, 17 by 26. What does that look like? That's kind of what I want, roughly, from what I'm picturing in my head. Maybe we want a little bigger. Maybe that's too big. Let's see. That might be a little big. Let's go with 33. That's a nice middle ground. Maybe that will work. Do we have to make it taller? Oh, not taller, wider, sorry. I think 17 could maybe work. Might have to make it a little bigger, but we shall see. Alright. First thing I want to do is I want to have a waterfall. So, and it has to be, it's going to be like a waterfall, and it's going to go down. So maybe we should start with the cliff first, actually. So let's get the cliff. And let's delete this for now, just because it's going to throw me off. I think I am going to have it be a little bigger. Width, 26. Let's try 26. This might work. This might be better, because now we can have a little space. Alright. First thing we want to do is we want to have some cliffs. Where do we want the cliffs? I do want the cliffs to go around. So let's just do some basic shapes for now. That's always how I like to start my maps. So let's do something like that, maybe. Something like this. Something like that. And then maybe something like that. That gives us a lot of room to put stuff here. Now, let's make this... Let's just see how that looks if I were to do just a simple cliff like that. I think this is good. This is a good start. Now we've got to make it less... or more natural, I should say. So, what I like to do is I like to just pick randomly. So, like, let's make this like that and then do that. Let me zoom in a little bit, actually. Maybe it would look better like that? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Something like that. Maybe then we can have a bit more. Like maybe it goes to there. Like that maybe. And then maybe it goes like that. Maybe we'll have... Oh, need to do that. Need to have this come out a little more. Maybe something like that. Although we do have to keep in mind let's not actually, hang on, let's get the bare essentials. Let's remove all this. Let's get the bare essentials down. So, do we want it to only be too tall, the cliff? I'm thinking not. I'm thinking I want it to be taller, because I want it to be quite a high cliff. So maybe let's double that. Maybe something like that. That looks pretty good. I'm just looking at the perspective, like the dimensions here. Do I want a big area? Or do I want a small area? I think I want a small area. Which means maybe I do want the cliff to be big. Maybe 4. I think 4 is a good number. We'll work with that. Okay, now let's actually add the water first before we start making it less man-made looking. So here's the water. I haven't actually made a waterfall in a very long time, so it might take me a minute to remember how to do this. Because we can't just do that, because it does that. So we are going to have to... do something about that. Where's the waterfall tile? I know I saw it. Here it is. Waterfall cliff, and then we got a boulder. Interestingly, how it doesn't actually... Does it want me to do that, maybe? I mean, I guess, but that's not animated, is it? Let me just look. Oh, I thought I turned that off. Wow. Oh, it is animated by default. I might actually have to look at how the RPG Maker devs do it by default, because I'm not actually sure. It's been a very long time since I made a waterfall. The last time I did it was in random things, and that was about 5 years ago now. Something like that? Maybe it's like you want to do this and then shift click, maybe? That could work. If I were to do something like... no. We want this. Yeah, I don't think it's symmetrical though, because... Yeah, no, it needs to be 4. So, something like that. And then the only problem is when it gets to here, because it's going to do that. So this is probably when we have the waterfall. I'm going to go look at a map, at a default map, to see how they do it. I shall be back momentarily. Here we go. Here's one. How do they do it? So they actually have events. Interesting. What is this? Okay, it's like a splash effect. Okay. So what does that actually look like in game? Okay, so it gives it that effect, like the rushing water. Okay, oh, and that's how they bridge the gap. That's what makes it not look weird. Because if you were to delete these, yeah, I figured that's what it would look like. And I imagine that doesn't look quite as good. No, yeah, it's got that awkward cut off. Okay. Yeah, I was thinking that, but I was like, I don't know, that would look weird. Okay, but no, you want to add... That's what the events are. I knew events were involved. Alright, so we'll keep that there just in case. So yeah, we want to do... Shift click this, I imagine. Let me just... They are shift clicking, right? Like if I were to just get the water and do this. Oh no, they're not. Oh, does this use actual... It seems to use actual grass. What about right at the edge? It does just seem to use grass. That is interesting. But that doesn't make sense. Wait, how would that work? Hang on. So let's just fill this back up. This doesn't look right, does it? No, it does that. How have they done that then? Because should this not, like, this should, like, dig into it, right? Like, if I were to do that, how have they done that? Oh, it doesn't do that. Oh, okay. But if I were to do that, it does that. Whereas if I were to do it here... Interesting. How does that work? What if I were to do this? Oh, I see how they've done it. I think I see how they've done it. I think what's happening is this is actually just like regular grass, and then up to here where it actually... Okay, I think I see. So if I were to do... let's just make it, just so I can fill tool it and it's easier to recognize, let's just make it this. So if I were to do like this, just give it a nice pathway here. Right. Now this looks weird. But if I then fill this in, it does that. Maybe, how have they done that? That is interesting. Because look, it does that. I guess maybe what you would do is... Huh. Am I crazy for not knowing how to do this? I'm not the best mapper. Mapping's not really my thing in RPG Maker. I know how to do it. I know, you know, the little tips and tricks, like shift clicking and other things, but how have they done that? Maybe it's like... Maybe it's too out. Maybe it's like... Hang on, let's think about this critically. So this happens. Is there a way I can get just the edge like this Maybe. Like if I were to get this and then just shift click. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. Okay. Okay, so let's get rid of that. Let's extend the map by 10. Just so we have some space to just put some mountain. So let's do if you do a 3x3 grid, you can get like most of the tiles. So we want this to look like that. That makes sense. And then we just want, we can't just do that. Because first of all, it does that. And second of all, if we were to shift click, it has a little, you can see how it gets rid of this little rock here. So we need a corner piece. So I want a corner piece that's just that. So let's do 3x3 and just do something like this. That should give us everything, I believe. So we want, or maybe I need to do it the other way around. Or is it just this? It's just this, right? Yeah, there we go. Interesting. And then how do we get this one? I guess we go here, right? And then do that. Oh, okay. Problem is though, is this sustainable? Like if I were to move the map, it would. Like if I were to place a fence here, how does it react? Okay, it doesn't actually seem to mind. What if I now place the water? Okay, it does that. Now I think that's fine, because I believe that this does that as well. Like if I were to have this as the cliff. Oh no, wait, what? How have they done this? They've just shift clicked, I feel, but wait. If you shift, because hang on, if I shift click like there and then just drag that, no, okay, it doesn't. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. Anyone more experienced will have to let me know, because I'm not exactly sure how they've done that. That is interesting. I want to know how to do that. That would be very helpful. But for now, we'll do it my way. So we'll do that. And then we need... Then what corner piece do we need? We want one that's like... just this. Like that. So we're gonna have to make another one. I believe it's just the opposite, right? Because we want this one piece here. Yeah, there we go. And then we want to do that. And then we want an opposite. So we just want to do this. And then we want this piece. And then we want to do that. Whoops. This is why we use the line tool, ladies and gentlemen. So we do that. And then we want that piece, which is just this one. But the other way around, yeah. So we just want 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. We just want that, and then we want this piece. Yeah, we want that. And then obviously we're going to have to... remove the shadows. That's interesting how that shadow's fine being there. So that does that, and now, but that doesn't really fix anything because I can still, yeah, it still does that. But how have they? Oh, okay, it doesn't do it up to a certain point. That is so weird. How have they done that? I don't know. I really don't know, to be honest with you all. Very weird. Very, very weird. Because that doesn't really... That's basically just... This. Well, okay, not that. It's basically just that, really. I still have to shift click. Well, okay, I'm gonna revert. I'm gonna go back to... I'm actually gonna keep... Let's just keep this. Let's just make a map called Storage. Let's make it outside. And let's just put... I'm gonna have to make it bigger. Let's just make it 34 by 26. And let's just grab all of these. put them here. Just in case we need them. For some reason. I don't want to have to go through the process of remaking it all. So let's just do that. Let's reduce that back to 26. Interesting. Okay, that was a waste of time. Well, not really a waste of time. It's a learning experience. If anyone has any idea how they were able to make it so it doesn't go back, let me know, because I really do want to know actually how they did that. Okay, so let's just go back to what we were doing. We were doing this. Okay, that doesn't work. Maybe they did. I'm sorry. I'm just so enamored. I'm just curious as to how they did that. And so we want these pieces. And that is that good? Yeah. Yeah. Then we want to get up to here. But see how it's done that? Oh, does it do it here? Oh, it does it here as well, but they've kind of hidden it with totems. So any way we can avoid that? I don't think so. I think that's something we're going to have to deal with. But you know what hides it? You know what probably hides it? The water splash. That's probably why it's also there, isn't it? It's genius. That's good. That's smart. Is there any way we can actually... I don't believe there's any way we can actually deal with that. Because you may be thinking we can just get this, like, this piece, for instance. Not saying it's the exact piece. But if you do that, it will replace it. So we can't do that. So yeah, there's no way we can get around that. Let's just make splash. If I could type, Jesus. Oh my god. Splash effect. And we will make it a splash effect. So it's this one. And we want stepping. We want directional fix. Do we want through? We don't want the player really walking on it, right? So we want it to be through, yeah? No, okay. I guess maybe it doesn't really matter. As long as it's what they used, below character, same as character, so you can't walk on it. Okay, so they want it to actually be interactable. And you place it one below. Okay, so it would go here, but we'll keep it. Just keep it there. And then as for the actual waterfall, it seems to just be, I imagine, this tile, right? Yeah, but that's so weird. Wait, there's flows. Why do that? How have they done that? Am I missing a tile? Have they just got some weird tile? Like, how have they done that? Because, like, if I use it here, it just adds to it. But if I do it on my map, it does its own thing. How have they done that? Is it like a different... I don't know, that's so weird. Is it like a different variation of these rocks? Maybe? I don't know. How have they managed to do that? What? I don't know how they've done that. Okay. I wish when you copied it would tell you what tile you've copied. So if I were to fill this in, it's a different. What is this tile? Interesting. Look, it's like a weird. What? It's like a single tile. It's not like an actual cliff. Interesting. See, we're learning today. This is why I wanted to do this. A single piece. Where is it? It's like a rock. Is it this? It must be like this piece, right? I feel like it's got to be one of these pieces. So did they make it manually? That is interesting. Let's see. If I get like this piece here, and I just go like this. Obviously, it doesn't look great at the moment. Give me a second. And then we add the waterfall. Oh my god, that is how they do it. What? I never knew that. Okay. That is interesting. Is that how they've done the edge? That might be how they've done the edge. They've just used this because this isn't an auto tile, so it won't auto try and complete. Is that correct? Okay, hang on. That might be the case. Okay, let's back up. Let's get rid of this waterfall for just a moment. Okay, so let's also change this cliff back to how everything used to be. Okay. Now that is interesting. So if I were to do, maybe it's this tile. So many weird tiles. Like I thought these were just like, why are these here? But ledge meadow. So if we do, let's say we just do, let's do the top part. So we do this. Right, obviously it's going to look a little weird. Passing for the rest of it. But let's just say this is now our meadow. If we now get the water tile, will it now auto-complete? It doesn't. That's how they've done it. This is such a learning experience. That's how they've done it. That is so useful to know. You know how many times I've made like cliff maps and I've had to like, you know, awkwardly shift click around it to like, oh my god, that's actually crazy. This has already been worth the episode. I could end it right here and feel accomplished. What? How have I not known that? I know I don't map too often outside of actually having to. It's not really a passion I have. I enjoy doing it, but I don't know. I prefer making like encounters and like gameplay mechanics over maps. But oh my god. Wow, okay. That is useful. So it just uses, okay. No, don't, or we do this tile. Okay, and now we just have to do this. Right, let's get rid of all of this first. Do that. Down to here. How long? Here. Well, we can fix this. What I think is this just a shadow? No, it's not a shadow. But it'll probably fix itself when I map over it, hopefully. Well, no, we're going to be erasing the cliff anyway, so then what do we want to use here? It doesn't really have... Oh my god, it has the things right here. What? Bro, my eyes have been opened today. That's crazy. And then we remove these shadows and it's like nothing changed. And then we can place whatever we want on here. Is that correct? Wow. Like I could place like this thing and it doesn't mess with it. This may be like, okay, I didn't know this after 100 hours? No, I didn't. Oh my god. What? I love this. I love this. Look at that. And now we don't even need this. We can just remove that. Screw you. And we could do this as well for like, oh my god. This is the greatest day of my life. This is the greatest day of my life. Oh my god. So we can just... obviously it doesn't work there because it's got to like, you know, replace the tile. But if we were to do that and then we go down... Now how have they've just done this, right? Yeah, and then they have this waterfall here, which actually knows to connect to the water, interestingly enough. Deep water. I didn't even know this was a tile. How do I not know these things? Have they been used? They don't use deep water. I wouldn't say it's deep water. It's just a running river. Maybe we can make probably have a lake in the middle. That's where it ends. So it might have a lake there of deep water. Wow. So let's do that. So we've got the basics down. We've now got this. Let's add our splash effects here. And now if we place our character here, what have we got so far? Yes, I like it, kind of. It needs a few improvements. Obviously the cliffs need to be replaced with the non-auto tile edition. But yeah, wow, okay. Okay, so let's get to fixing the cliffs. Right, so we want our corner. And then we want it to just go up, up, up. Let's just do the corners first. Corner, up, up, up. And then we just want this tile, I think. Yeah, because that's the middle tile. That's the corner. This is the bottom. So we want to do this. Or do we? So this is the bottom tile and that's everything else. So we want this to go all the way across the bottom. And then we just want this tile for everything else. Right? Yeah. I believe that should be it. We should be free to just... That should be good, right? Yeah, that looks good. Okay, good. The only issue is it might be a little difficult if I want to add like outcroppings, because I can't just do all the time. I'm gonna have to do it manually, but I think that's a trade-off I'm willing to go for at the moment. We'll see. All right, so now we've got that. Let's now get the river. So obviously the river's gonna continue. Where do I want it to continue to, you may ask? I'm thinking about half. Do I want it to end abruptly? Like, do I want it to go, or not end abruptly, but do I want it to go all the way down and have like a big lake pool? Or do I want it to like, I'm trying to think. I think what I would prefer is I would want it to go down most of the way. So maybe like here. And then I want it to become a big lake. So how big do I want this lake to be? This is probably too small for a lake. It probably needs to be bigger. Can we go one out maybe? Obviously I'll make it less blocky. But this is just literally just trading stuff. 1, 2, 3. No, I don't want a rectangle. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could do like this. I think I think that looks good. I'm not sure if I like it too much. It might just because it's blocky at the moment, but I do want you to go down. We'll keep it like that for now. You know what I do want to do actually? I want to have some more like depth. Just to add a little bit. So I now want to do what I just did down here. So I would need to do like how would I do that? I would need to get like I would need to do like this. No, not that. This one. Right? But the problem is that it doesn't look very good here. Normally that's hidden by the effect. But doesn't really work. Makes sense there. So I'm not sure. I could just have it so it's like it goes up to here and then maybe there's like a little. I could do that. Maybe I should do that. How much space is this? This is okay. So this is 6. So let's do that, and then what does that look like? I like that. I kind of like that. And then we just got to replace the grass with this new grass. Oh, sorry. Yeah. And then obviously we've got to place the cliffs. Now I do want this to maybe go back. Not sure how big I want this cliff to be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I do have a bad habit. I'm not sure. Maybe it's a bad habit, but I do have a habit of making things even. So this is 6, but when I put in the cliffs, it'll probably be 2. So it'll be 4 here, And obviously that's 4 here, 4 here, and then 4 here as well. I'm not sure if that's a good... I think it's a good thing for the most part. I think I can get a little too organized sometimes. But I think for the most part it's usually a good thing. I don't know. Guys, let me know what you guys think, whether it's a bad habit or not that I should break. I am going to do this. I think I only want it to be 2. We want this to be a lot smaller. For the drop. Down elevation. So something like that. And then obviously you've got to do... No, that's the wrong way. Yeah, something like that. And then now we have a little bit here that you can go up maybe. Do I like that? I think I do like that. What would it look like if I did this? I imagine not very good, but we can't assume. I'm not the biggest fan. Right, now here's an issue. Can I shouldn't be able to walk up this, but I feel like I'm... Okay, I can't. We're just checking. We don't want to make the whole map and then realize that it doesn't work. Okay. So this should behave exactly like... I think I control walked there. Yeah, that was me control walking. Okay, so it behaves exactly as you think it would. Maybe this should be 1. What do we think about that? Maybe... Okay, wait. Maybe it should be 1. Okay, because then maybe we could have multiple layers. Okay, now we're getting a little creative with it. So... How big is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So maybe we can do... Let's just wing it. So we have to get down to... Let's place a tile. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We have to get down to here. Oh no, here, sorry. That's the max we can go. That's the limit. So, let's get rid of all of that. For our hard work. That's how mapping goes. Or at least how I do mapping. It's probably why it takes me so long. Let's get rid of all of that. And let's do the same thing. So maybe we can go... How big do we... Maybe we want... Let's go for 1. Well, not 1. That's 2. Something like that. Something like that. No, wait. Too far. There we go. And then... Like that. Is this going to look good? That is a good question. And then let's do the same thing. So we can probably just... I think I like the idea. I like it. I think it does it too much. I think if we halved it, it would look pretty good. Alright, so let's half it. So how many space? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we've got 8. So we need each one to take up 2. So... Plus the walls, which means... It needs to take up... So this needs to be on the 3rd part here. And then cut off there. And go up. And then we can add the walls. Oh, sorry. Do that. And then we do it again. Let's just make sure to actually add the grass, the correct grass. Do we like this? I think I like where this is going. I genuinely do. Maybe could use some touch-ups. But we're just blocking it out at the moment. We can... That's what the rest of this video is going to be for. It's touching up. What do you mean by that? And then we want to do... this. Yeah. I think I like it up to here. For some reason it doesn't... Hang on. I don't know what I'm doing. I can literally just do that. Now, an issue. Does it look like that? How good does it look in game? I don't mind. I like it. I just don't like it here, which is a problem. Why is it? I don't get why it has a shadow. Maybe I'm just thinking about it. I could probably hide it. Like if I were to place like a tree. Yeah, look at that. It's just what issue are we having? You know. But yeah, I think I like that. I'm gonna keep it. I just realized we have to put the effect at the bottom of the lake as well, obviously, because that's where the water is crashing. Now, this probably doesn't. But does this... This probably doesn't connect with the regular water, right? Oh, it does. Oh, okay, that's good. That's good, because I wanted to make the lake deep water. So I just think it might be... Nah, on second floor, I don't like that. Keep it the same. Do I like this? Yes? Because this is a big drop. Does this make sense? Like, does this make sense as an actual mountain? That... that I'm not too sure about. I might have missed the mark here. Because something about it doesn't look right. Do I... Let's just see. If I were to add, like... what am I doing? A path. Oh, I should just... Oh no, we use this... Sorry, I get a little confused. I've kind of forgotten how to use the paths. Does this look... I'm trying to think, like... You know, if this was actual terrain, how would this look? So it would be like... I don't think it would make sense. Because it would just be a bunch of blocks. Like, this would be a big block, this would be a big block. I'm not sure. I'm not entirely sure. I think maybe the cliff is too high for this. I think maybe... Maybe it should be... Maybe it should be like this. I'm just trying to think. You know, it's good to experiment. You know, I'm not a perfect RPG maker mapper. Does that make more sense? I think it makes more sense. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe this is a bust. This might be a bust. Maybe it isn't. Maybe I'm being too critical. Maybe it's not that bad. I don't know. Is it bad? I don't think it's that bad. I'm not sure. Because, like, this would just be a big block up. This would be a big block up. And then this would be an even bigger block up. Now, does that make sense? These stairs would have to go all the way down. Maybe, I think I'm going to leave it. I'm going to put it back to what it was. If we really don't like it, we can always just quickly go boom, you know. But for now, I think I'm going to leave it. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. I do want to revert this, actually. So let's quickly do that. So yeah, we'll leave it for now. We can always change it. And I am just going to quickly copy-paste on the other side. Maybe I should do some differences, but then would it make much sense? Would it make even less sense? If one side was, like, if this was 2 down on the other side. That, I don't know, and I don't think I really want to try. We'll give it a try, probably, but... Forgetting where the thing is now. Here it is. So we want to do this up to there, and we want to do that, and then we want to go up. Oh, actually, you know what? You know what? Maybe it needs a shadow. Maybe it just needs a shadow. Maybe that'll make it look better. Does that make it make sense? I think it makes more sense with a shadow, right? Surely. I don't know. It's so hard to decide sometimes. We'll keep it. Like I said, we can just get rid of it. I don't know why I think about things too much. Obviously, you know, it might not look perfect, but maybe this should be like that. Honestly, I think that looks better because it's connected to the mountain. It's not a separate mountain. Or maybe it doesn't. I don't know, because this is like that. But maybe that shouldn't be as well. Because it's not... This would only be here if it was like the actual edge of the cliff. Oh What is going on there? Okay, it's like a little grass tile. Okay. Obviously, I don't know why I did that. I think this makes more sense, right? To do this, because it's not the edge of a cliff. It like goes into this cliffside here. So I think that makes more sense, right? And then what about that? No, that I think makes sense because that is the end of the cliff. There is no more cliff there. I think the issue I'm having actually is that this looks like it stops there. Now, is there anywhere I think, can I just do that? No, I can't just do that because it looks weird. If this didn't have this little bit here and it went down still, that'd be so good. And there's no way I can get around that, is there? No. This is why you learn to edit tile sets, because I could just make this little bit of grass here in this tile rock, and I believe the map would look about 500 times better. But like I said, we could just hide it with a tree or something. So maybe I'm just making my own problems. Let's just block out the map. We already decided we're not doing that. Come on, stick with the program. And then it's like that. Then we just do that down again. And then, yeah, let's add the stairs. So maybe we don't want some big stairs. Maybe we just want to do like 2 stairs. So let's do that. And then we will do this because it's like, how it does? Yeah, no, it has to be like that because it's going down to this level. If it was on the actual rock itself, this implies that it's actually on the rock, which would mean there's just like a weird staircase going down. But if you add shadows, that implies that it's actually encaved into the mountain, which probably makes a lot more sense. So we're going to do that. And then we're just going to do the same thing on the other side. Just keep it nice and symmetrical. And then here, we're just going to have a single stair. We're going to have it be there, 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 and there. Okay, it's coming together, actually. I am starting to see the vision. Potentially. Yeah, I'm starting to like it. Now I've got to, do this here. And I do have a way of doing this. I've just forgotten how I do it. So I believe I just, like... It just cuts off, right? You just do that. And then you can't just do that. No. So it has to be this tile. Obviously, it can't be that tile. Because that looks weird. So yeah, we'll just do that. And for some reason, it's chosen to do this. Which would also imply that this is going out. And then this... I think that just makes sense, right? Because when it has a shadow, that means it's actually in the mountain. Does that... Because... I don't know. Shadow experts, hit me up. Because I have no idea. But... I think that makes sense. Would it also... It would also be here then as well, because... The sun won't be hitting this either. Can't hit that, because I say the sun's coming from this angle. That's why I'm doing the shadows. So it won't be able to hit that. It won't be able to hit that. We'll be able to hit this, and it won't be able to hit the stairs, because they're encaved, they're engraved, like they're in the mountain. So I think that makes sense. I think we're going to do that. Just keep it like that. And then, I'm not the biggest fan of this, but I'm not really sure. I can't just do that. Because that looks stupid. I do wish there was a corner piece that would just end off. What is this? It's like farmland. Anyway, yeah, let's do that. Add the shadow back, and then we're going to do that for all the other sides. So we're going to do that, 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 and then that, and then that. That and that. There we go, and it's starting to take shape. I'm actually liking this. The shape, anyway. Maybe it won't be that good. maybe always to be ruined. Maybe I'm gonna screw it up somehow. But I'm liking the current shape. I think it's pretty good. Now, I do want a house somewhere, which means I might have to move the waterfall down. But that's fine, because I can always just make the map bigger. So we're probably going to do that. Thankfully, when you expand the map, it goes down. Alright. So let's just extend this by 2 and then remove 2 here. And then you could probably fit a house here. I say I put village. It's probably gonna have like 2 houses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can maybe add some more actually if I were to do. So let's see. I need 6 to be like that. So we need to add. I think we need to add like 10. Thankfully it goes down. I'm so glad it goes down. I wish you could choose which direction it goes in when you expand the map, because that'd be very helpful. Okay, before we mess around and be like, oh, actually I don't like that. Let's actually put a house, little basic house. All right. So maybe we should do. I'm trying to think what kind of house do I want. Maybe I want like a little hut. Now this isn't too big of a space, so I can't really. I could get away with doing this, but I honestly don't really. I don't know. It's not clicking with me. What if I just do like a really small house? Like, what if I literally just do like, So again, am I losing the plot a little bit, or yeah, I might be losing the plot a little bit. What if we? No, 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 no. No, I don't know. I don't like it. I'm not the biggest fan. I don't mind the 5x5 house. My only issue is, well, what material do I want? I think I want to use logs. I feel like a person out in the woods would have logs, obviously, because there's trees everywhere. So I'd want to do something like this. But first of all, it's a box house. But I don't think I can really do better houses in this small of an area. So I'm not going to hold that against me too much. And second of all, I would like to put maybe for decoration. I'm thinking later on maybe I want to do like something like something like that. But maybe not. I don't mind this, but I kind of mind it. And I don't know. There's not a lot of room to really do stuff. Another issue I have whenever I make villages is I always make the houses symmetrical. But maybe I shouldn't do that. I would want like I would want it to be like symmetric, not symmetrical like that. Oh, wrong tile. But that blocks off the pathway and doesn't look very good. So I would have to make it even bigger. Which I don't know why I'm like, oh no, I don't want to do that. Like I can make the map however I want. Okay. So let's say each house is, just for simplicity, each house is this, which is probably gonna have to be because there's not much space to work with. Maybe I could do some. I could maybe do like this, but that makes it tile high, and I don't really know. I'm just gonna keep it as a box house. I think I'm gonna keep it as box houses. I do want this to be another tile, which means moving this down. I just want a tile up down because I feel like that would add a lot. So let's make this like that. Do this because this will then give us the creative freedom to be like, okay, we can have a house on that elevation and then we can do that, right? And that adds some depth to the houses. So we're going to do that. But for now, just to map everything out correctly, just going to do that. And then we're going to want to extend the bottom part here. So we want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We want 8 from here, which means this is going to continue down 2, 3, to about there, and then we want... No, wrong way. Wrong way. Use that brain of yours. Come on. No. How do I? Oh, wait. How do I? Oh, that's why I'm getting confused. It's just a corner piece. Come on. You did this earlier. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we want. God almighty. Come on. Use that brain. This piece. There we go. Jesus. And then we want to continue here. And then we want to continue down. And then we want to use this piece. This piece. And that will be the edge of the cliff. And then this will just be more of this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then we can extend this by 2. And now, if I'm not mistaken, we should then be able to just do... Yeah, we can do the same thing here. Like, not like that, but like that. Maybe... No, we can't have a third house, since we want it to look a little weird. But that's roughly what we're going for. I'm obviously going to move around the houses in a second. But I think that's roughly what we're going for here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's perfect. Right. I think this is looking pretty good. Last thing I want to do before I start actually move on from the blocking phase is I want to move these houses and maybe add a bridge to the river so you can like cut across maybe. So we're going to take this house and let's move it there. Not really any rhyme or reason, I just want to move them. Maybe we can move this one here. Yep. And then we can move this one. Keep it in the middle maybe. And then we can move this one up. Maybe something like that. Keep the houses all nice and different. Yeah, okay. See, we're getting somewhere. And then I want to add a bridge. So I would like a bridge. Do we want this bridge? Isn't this bridge like a pain in the ass? This bridge is a pain in the ass. Is there like, no. I think you can just like shift click this bridge, right? And just do that. I don't know. Let's get a little creative. I think there's other tiles that aren't actually, they're not bridges per se, but they do kind of look like a bridge. Like these things. Oh no, they are a bridge. You see this thing in the bottom left? This thing's a godsend. I've literally never used this in my life until recently, and oh my god, it is like just amazing. But that doesn't really look good. It would probably just be a single like that. But does that look good? No, because it implies that this is just logs are just resting on the side, which would not be good. It would need like a some fences. I'm just messing around here. I don't think I can really get that to look good, to be honest. What about this? That looks better. That at least makes sense because that could be maybe it's like nailed into the ground, whereas this, your mind is like, I don't know. I don't know, man. It's kind of weird. Both look kind of weird. Maybe we don't want a bridge. I don't know. Maybe we don't want a bridge. Because why would they have a bridge? Okay, let's think about the people living here. Why would they build a bridge that goes 2 feet? When they can just walk around. It takes like an extra few seconds. Here would maybe make a little more sense. This is like the only place I can see a bridge, but the bridge could also be further up. Like, there's a lot of things you've got to think about here. I don't think there would be a bridge. Definitely not because I'm being lazy. But if there would be a bridge, it definitely wouldn't be like this bridge here. This is like a castle bridge, you know? Like, that's way too advanced. It would definitely be like this little small bridge. definitely be like this. Just you know, chilling like that. I think I like this more. I think I like it down. Well, would you have a bridge by a waterfall? Let's also think about that for a second, okay? Would you go on a bridge near a waterfall? I don't think you would make a bridge near a waterfall. So yeah, let's just not have a bridge. I don't think that makes much sense. Let's keep it. I think this is good. We have now moved out of the blocking stage. Let's actually make this look a little more non-human. I'm actually going to copy the map, Lake Village. I'm going to call this Lake Village. We're going to call this Lake Village block. Just, you know, the block stage. This will be our, when we start to make it look a little less man-made. Right, so how do we do that? Well, first thing we want to do is we want to change these cliffs here to not all be the same. They don't all end here at the same level. So this is going to be a little difficult to work with this manual, but I can get it done. So can we do... We could... It's a little difficult. We could do... maybe it doesn't actually... Maybe I can't actually. How have they done it here? They've definitely done it here. It doesn't use the auto tile, right? No, it does use its own thing. So you can do it. I'm sure to actually think about it for once, not just auto tile it out. Right. So let's just use it as an example. So let's say I did that. That does not work. Oh yeah, because we've got to do that, don't we? Okay, hang on. The only problem is that this is going to be kind of annoying. This is why we have this map. Let's try it here. So let's replicate it. It's just 3. That's 4 high. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 high. And then we want to have this middle one go out one. So let's actually add some terrain or some hill. We want that. We literally, I've done this wrong. We literally just want that. So we want to do this. That's all we want to do. Which doesn't look great, if I'm going to be honest. Kind of hard to make it look less natural. I do need to have it though, just because these cliffs are very square, and it would definitely help to have them not be so square. So it doesn't have to be anything crazy. I would do these two like that, but then it would conflict here. Like if I were to just like, oh yeah, let's just do that. You know, that doesn't look great, does it? Or does it? No. Eh. I don't know. I mean, it certainly looks like something. It's kind of hard to visualize, to be honest. I'm not very good at visualizing. Let's revert this. We have this here, so let's just use this. I don't know. This is where it gets difficult. I do want to have this. Okay, let's start with the top. Let's start with the stuff that I actually know potentially how to actually do. I say as I do it wrong. So how does it handle this? So this just does that. And then okay, so it does basically essentially it just does that. That no, that, and then that, right? Something about that. It just doesn't look right. And I don't... Maybe I'm just seeing things. I've been looking at this stupid square for like too long. It's because it needs to go down one, doesn't it? Oh god. So we just do that. And then do that. Then we switch that out for that. But then that doesn't look right. What does that look like in game? Yeah, it would be its own thing. It would be like that, essentially. And then this would need to be that. Yeah, and then this would need to be its own thing, so it would need to do that. There we go. But do I like that? I think it just looks weird because it's the only jutting bit out. I think once I start adding more, it should look good. And obviously this will look better in the final thing, I believe. Yeah, let's keep it for now. And this is why you make backups. Or you copy paste if you're ever not sure about how to actually make a map, because you might make a mistake like, nah, let's go back to how it was, you know, a while ago. But obviously, Optimaker only goes back not very far. It only goes back a few spaces, so you've got to keep that in mind. So I'd recommend copying if you can. Yeah, so let's keep that. And then let's do it here as well, to a lesser extent. Or maybe to a more extent. So we want... How do you do one time? Like, I can just... So it has like a middle tile. And what is that? See, that's the issue. It's not that. It's not that. It's not that. It's like its own thing. So I don't know if I can do like single pillars. Because what is... It's like a middle tile. But this has no middle tile, does it? Or maybe I'm not seeing it. I mean, it might just... It's just that, isn't it? I think that's just this exclusive. It's not actually a thing I can work with. Which definitely kind of sucks. But who said we can't move it inward? Like, who's to say I can't just move this in a few blocks? Like, what if I want to do that, you know? And then that. And then move this. This will become that, because now it's not connected to anything. And then this is just that. Like, who's to say I can't just do that, right? That looks pretty good. And then we just do, I don't know, same thing here. Like, we just grab that, move this up, put that there, put that there, remove this, change that to this, change that to this, and then do that. There we go. Look, see, it's coming together now. I'm liking it. It is coming together quite nicely, I would say. Okay, good. Okay, now I gotta do it again on the other side. Now, do I want to make it exactly the same? Probably not. Let's make it a little different. Let's maybe... Could I put it here? Would that make sense to make this go out one? I can't make it go inward. I could make it go inward here, I suppose. Let's do that. Let's make it go inward here. So that means we'd have to... yeah, let's do that. Yeah, see, that's the issue. If I had to do that, it would now be like, what the hell are you trying to do, bro? Like, if I wanted to do that, you know what I mean? I mean, maybe it makes sense. Probably not. I don't think it really makes sense. I don't know. It's not screaming to me. It's kind of weird if it was. We can always revert it. Try to revert it. Let's just, so it would be this. And then that would do that. And then this would be this now. Yeah, it's not really screaming to me. I don't like it. Maybe it would look... I don't know. Maybe I should keep it. I don't know. Problem is everything's got to be at least 2 because we don't have that one tile unless I'm missing something. Have they done it actually? Let's look at their example. Have they done a middle tile? They've got 1 tile that are left, right, but they don't seem to have one that is a middle tile. So yeah, we're not gonna worry about it. So yeah, let's not worry about it. Let's just do the same thing. No, well, I can't really do much else. Maybe I should just do the same thing. I mean, maybe we could do it here. Let's try it. You know, let's at least try. So that would be that. This would go all the way up, and then we would do the same thing here. So then this would go all the way up, and then that's fine. That can stay like that. And then obviously we've got to move this in one, which maybe doesn't make sense. Let's at least try to make it make sense. So it would be just this, wouldn't it? No, it would be this, then that, then that, and that. I mean, it makes sense. It does make sense now. Now that I'm actually looking at it, this still makes sense. Now it's just, obviously there's shadows here because it's just drying out. I think I like it. I don't love it. Do I love it? Would I tell it a bednight story? No, because it's an animate object. But do I think it looks good? Yes. Do I think it looks better than when it was here? You obviously that's like that. I think that's the only thing I can really do to make it look different. And I don't think it looks bad. It makes sense, right? Because now this is in the cliff. And then there's just this big cliff here. It's like a blind spot. I think it's fine. I think it could exist in real life. I'm not really going for realism. It's who cares, right? Not me. Me apparently. Yeah, let's just keep like that. Any issues? I'm gonna figure out what to do for the rest of them. Could I make this go inward or outward rather? I keep saying this. Other way round. If I did that, yeah. Obviously, I'd have to do that. I always forget. Yeah. I think that's good. I like it. Yeah, sure, I like it. And then what about this one? I could kind of attempt to do the same thing. If I do the same thing here, just put it here instead. So I'm going to do that. So let's take that, move that in, change that to grass. Oh no, I can't do that because this doesn't have the ability to do that. Okay, so when you're doing this, it has the restriction of... am I missing something? Maybe I'm missing something. No, it doesn't have the ability to like... How would it... yeah, because it would have to go up on this left side here, and it can't do that. Unless I shift click? What if I shift click, actually? No, it takes up the spot, I'm afraid. But yeah, it needs this tile here, and I don't see a way to get that. No, okay. Don't see it. If I'm wrong, let me know. Maybe it's in one of these other things, actually. Let's just quickly check. No. Okay. No, I don't know. So we're just going to do this. Or maybe we leave it. Maybe this could be... No, I don't like it. We're moving it back. So let's just do that. That. That becomes that. That gets that. And then we do this. And then this. Yes? No, 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 almost, almost. Do that. There we go. It's looking good. I'm liking it, actually. Okay, that's that bit done. Now we have to do this bit, which... maybe I shouldn't do. I don't really think... Like, I could do, you know, move this out and then have some... I know it looks stupid, hang on. Not exactly accurate, but I could do like this and then do that. Just pretend this is like, you know, like, oh, it looks good or whatever, but I don't know. I'm not sure if I would like that. Don't think it would look that good. Let's give it a try. Let's try it out. Let's say I want here. I want it to like go out just a little bit like that. Or I guess like no. Like no, like that. And then maybe it goes down one. And then it comes back in. You know, something like that. Now, the problem with that is it would have to abide by this. So it would have to go like, would it not have to go like a million down? You know what I mean? Like, does it make sense to have it like that? Because this goes down like 8, which means it would have to be quite far. I don't think this makes sense. Logically speaking, if this didn't have if these weren't here, it would make sense. But I think we are gonna have to trade. I don't know. I don't think it makes sense. Or maybe am I overthinking it? Because this is the same height, which means there should be a gap under here, wouldn't there? No, I'm not crazy, right, for thinking that. I mean, it looks like it hits the ground on the actual map, obviously, but I don't think I even really like it. I think I'm just gonna not have it, honestly. I don't know. It doesn't speak to me. I think it's just gonna have to be square, which I'm not. It's not the end of the world. Maybe we can make it look better later on, once we've got everything else. Alright, the river. Now, rivers are not just a straight line. They have some variation, so let's just do like that. Maybe not that big, but maybe, yeah, something like that. Something like that. And then maybe here we have something like that. Yeah, there we go. And then I want this to look less like a goddamn square, more like a random lake. I keep saying, yeah, random lake. So if I want that, let's cut off the corners. I mean, that already looks a lot better. It's mainly just this bit here. Now we add some variation. So maybe that. 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 I don't like it when it's one. You know? Like when it's just one little bit of water. Something like that. I think that looks fine. That looks good. I think that looks good. We'll keep it like that. Okay. Cool. Now we have to do our houses. I guess we could add some variation here, because we can make that go up without it making not making sense, you know? Like I could do I could do like this for instance. Something like that, I guess, but I don't know. It doesn't really speak to me. It looks dumb. I don't think it needs to be. That could be an improvement later on, final touch kind of thing. But I think it looks good like that. And let's do like that. There we go. All right. Now it's actually houses. Let's actually add some things to them. Let's just quickly look at the doors, just because I want to know what kind of door we actually want. Yeah, we want this portal. I mean, none of these are really like log cabin doors, are they? There's no like just door made out of logs, which is kind of annoying. I'm surprised it isn't that. I guess we just have to go with the standard wood door. Yeah. So we'll do put one there, put one there, put one there, and put one there. There we go. Obviously we can't do that because that looks weird, but alright. And then I think that's good for this stage. So let's copy, paste. We'll call this one. Let's change it. So let's stage 1, stage 2, and now we're on stage 3. Oh, I've got to put stage 3. Oh, I've got to put 3 rather. So now this is going to be where we actually start decorating a little bit. So what do we want to do? First thing I want to do is I want to add some different grass texture. There was this earlier. Can I just... I think I can... How good does that look? I don't know if it would look good like that, but I think it would look okay if it was in like the corners. You know what I mean? Let's try. Yeah, I like it in the corners. I'm not a particular fan of it, like just in the middle of nowhere, but maybe I can make it look better. So let's just put it in some random corners. Let's put it here like I had it. Maybe something like, I don't want it to look too symmetrical is the thing. Something like that. Maybe like that. Yeah, keep it like that. No, do not do that. That looks terrible. Keep that like that. We don't want it everywhere. We want to spice up some of the grass. Speaking of grass, can we put grass like near it without looking? Yeah. Maybe put some. I don't want it everywhere. I just want it in places to spice up the ground. Maybe I won't like it and then we'll just remove it. So maybe I shouldn't think too heavily about it. Put it maybe like here. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I don't. I think I like it. Maybe it's too square though. You know. I don't know. Let's just place it around. Like there, maybe. And then maybe just a little bit here. We'll see how this looks once I'm done on this side. And maybe we'll end it off with some here. Something like that. Let's see how that looks. Do I want to do this for the whole map? Do I like it? I think I do like it. I think it does work. I think it could spice up the ground. I think I'm gonna roll with it. Let's roll with it. Let's see how this turns out. Where's the meadow? It's right at the bottom, isn't it? Here it is. So yeah, let's keep going. Maybe do some here. just a little bit here. Like that. And then just a little bit here as well. And then maybe a bit here. This is very experimental. I'm not sure if I'll do this for every map I make from now on. We're just going to see how it looks. We're going to see how it looks. We can always get rid of it after we undo everything we put on it. But, you know. Do something like that. Let's see how that looks. Do I like it? I do like it. I do think it spices up the ground a little bit. Yeah, I think I like it. Let's rock with it. The only issue is the grass might look the grass the grass might look a little weird, but I think it should be fine. Obviously, we've got to do it down. Put it down here as well. So let's do that real quick. How? I can't put it here naturally because there's no meadow for that. So it'd have to be very sparse. Let's do it here. No, not there. Yeah, let's put it there. And then maybe here. And then I need to add the shadow back. Why has the shadow just disappeared? Don't know. Very weird. Yeah, and then don't want it everywhere. Like around here, potentially. I don't know, it can't be too close to the lake is the thing, because it doesn't mesh well. I don't know. It's tough to decide. Let's just put it where I think it would look good, and then we can decide if I want to keep it for everywhere. Maybe we should use it a little more. It's just small details like that, maybe. Maybe like that. That probably looks a little better. You know, instead of maybe trying to go for big pieces, we just do stuff like this, you know, to maybe spice it up. I don't know, maybe I'll probably, I don't know. It's very experimental. It's a very experimental idea. I'm not sure if I like it. For some reason it gets rid of the shadows. Very weird. Yeah. I think that's what I would do. How does that look? I'm very mixed on the decision. Because like where I would put it, I'd probably just put regular grass, you know? So maybe I'll just do that, you know, like the tall grass. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Maybe I'm stupid for doing this, but I think I'm gonna replace it with just regular tall grass or bush, as it's called. Honestly, I think I'm just gonna get rid of it. I think it was a bad idea. I don't like it. And I don't think I'd place grass in some of these spots because I'd want to be more, like, I'd want to put it in the way more. So I'm just going to remove it. I'm probably going to place it in some of the spots, but I don't know. That's why making maps takes forever. I mean, how long has it been? It's been 1 hour and 40 minutes, roughly. And the map is... It's getting there. It is getting there. It should be done relatively soon. It's just getting these little details. Yeah, let's just place some regular grass. I did like that. I think I'm going to keep that. I can't do that. Oh, here's a little heads up for you. If you do that, like you place the grass at the very edge here, you can actually walk up it like that. So don't do that when you're making maps. Make sure to not put it on the edge, because then you can walk up it. And I think, actually, I might have made a mistake here. I think it does apply the other way around, right? Like if I... Okay, no, it doesn't. Phew. But yeah, you don't want that. And that does not look good. So let's do that. How do I... Okay, I could get a little crazy with it, because I don't like how that looks. And I could do... 1, 2, 3, 4. Like that. And then do that. Oh, never mind. It's not like that. It's because it's not on grass. But for the sake of not taking another hour, we're just gonna leave it. And I think it looks like that looks good as well, so we will keep it. Do that. That looks good. We go down to there. Something like that. Let's do that. And maybe like that. And then maybe I think I'd put it around here because maybe this like been walked on, so they probably would cut it. Maybe like here. Maybe here. And maybe this is the path less traveled, so maybe there's like just little bits of grass. Then maybe we could do the same thing here. So we could do something like that, and then like that. And then we'll have some grass back here. Place some grass here. Sorry if you can hear a dog barking in the background. It's going crazy right now. And then maybe something like that. Oh, no, maybe like that. Yeah. Maybe I should play just little bits of grass. I've never really done that before. I never really used grass for that. But let's try. Let's do that. You know, there will be some just tufts of grass, I feel, somewhere. Maybe. I mean, it's a bush. It's not actually grass, but it's definitely grass-like. So I don't know. I think let's not do that. No, I'm over it. And then let's do... Can we do that? No, we cannot. We can, but I don't really like it, to be honest. Put some grass there. Maybe not, I don't know. I think with the path, so you come up here and then maybe they go up this way, so maybe there's a path here, so there would be no grass there. Maybe there would be some grass here. Like that, maybe? Maybe like that. Let's do that. And then there should be maybe little bits of grass along the sides. I say little bits as I do that. Let's not do that, it's a bit excessive. It's too much grass. Let's do that. And then here there'd be a lot of grass. Just to make up for the fact there's no grass in the middle. And then a little bit here maybe? Nah. Definitely a little bit down here. And maybe a lot here. Something like that. And then we do the same thing, now we go up. So let's put just a little bit of grass. And then some grass here maybe. So it's all just eyeballing. I'm not actually thinking about too much. I'm just thinking, yeah, that'll probably look good. And maybe a little bit here. And then some here. Yeah. Okay. Now let's add what other essentials do we need before I start adding like decorations and stuff. I think I do want a fence. Maybe I could put like a fence. Problem is it doesn't really connect. You know, like you think it would connect. Only way. Usually I would just I would do that, but there's not enough room to do that. And actually I wouldn't. Never mind, I guess I wouldn't do that. I don't know what I normally do, but I guess it's not that either. I don't really make a lot of fences. I mean, we could just like do that. You know, it's not the end of the world. You know, we could do that. That adds some life to it. Maybe we could. I don't know, because we can't get like a half connected, can we? I don't think. No, there's no way, is there? Trying to see if I can get like a bit and a half so it looks like it's connected. Maybe there is? What if I just shift click? No, it just does that. Which would work if it was going horizontally, but it's not going horizontally. I want to connect vertically. There's no way I can do that, because yeah, that just copies that, which... Yeah, no. So let's put some fences. Let's have a fence there. And then maybe a fence here. I don't know. Yeah, I like that. Don't think these places would have a fence. Maybe this house would have a fence, but... This one wouldn't because it would block. This one could. I mean, this one would if I moved it down. Let's do that. Let's get them all fences. So let's do that. There we go. And then this one. This one can. There we go. Look at that. It's already looking a lot better. Alright. House. Anything else to add on the A? What is this? Moss. Huh. Very subtle, but could help spice stuff up. Anything on the ground that I want to place? I think that's everything on the A tile I want to place. And now let's start adding B stuff. So what should we start with? The ground first, or the not the ground. Well, the grass I guess would be more applicable. So what would we add? Trees, obviously. We want trees, definitely. Yeah, let's just put some trees around. Let's put a tree. It'd be, let's say they'd probably not be all clustered because it's like a clearing for a village. So I don't think trees will all be clustered together. They'd be like sparsely around. There's still a lot of trees. So let's put one there. Oh, actually, I do want a path. I did forget about that. Let's delete stage 4. Go back to stage 3. Now, where do we want this path? Maybe here? I could just like that. Like, no, let's not do that. And then, you know, it's been trod on a lot, so maybe we can remove some of it. And then we'll do the same thing here. Whoops. Let's do that. Yeah, technically this would probably work like that. Let's actually do that. See, that's not how that works. Now it's just ruined some of the grass I've spent precious minutes on, but it's fine, you know, it's not the end of the world. And then, like I said, this is the path less travelled on the right here. Or this is the path more travelled, so maybe this would have, you know, more of a path, so maybe it would be like that, and then maybe it would split off a little bit. Do I want to split this off at any point? Don't see why not. Just do that, you know, looks good. And then it would go down. And then it would go like this. And then like that. Like that. And then like that. That's the path that I feel like that's the usual path, you know. So let's put some holes in that so it doesn't look like this. So let's maybe do that. And that. No, let's go down one more maybe. Like do that. Keep the crossroads, but maybe remove that and that. Remove that. And that's too big. Maybe remove that. And that. And that maybe? No, I like the I do like that. Maybe just like that. Nah, keep like that. Maybe do that. No, I do like the crossroads. Do that. Do that. Yeah. It's definitely it's going places. I think I would like it once actually it's all depathified. Why is the path split up? It's just to give it like some natural looking, because I imagine it will all just be, maybe it's too split up. Maybe I should connect that, maybe connect that, maybe connect that, maybe connect that, maybe connect that. Yeah. I'm going to change some of the grass. Some of this grass I would not place here if the path was here originally. I would not place these here. I'd probably keep that, maybe do that. That's about it really. That's about the the only one I would change is this one up here. But yeah, this... I don't know. Yeah, I think I like it. Maybe it's too maybe it's still too scattered. It is... Well, it's well lived in. And then this place has not been abandoned. People live here. So the path... You know, because the grass would die and then people would... it's how paths are made. So... you know, it's not too popular a town, so maybe some of the paths been taken back. But yeah, maybe we'll keep it. We'll keep it. Now we can move on to the bee stuff. Alright. Now we can move. Now we can do trees. How I like to do this is I like to just place trees randomly and then decide which ones should just be like cut down because people have been cutting them down. So tree there, tree there, tree, 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 tree. Tree, 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 and tree. And then maybe cut down this one. This one. I know technically, you know, but why don't they just cut down the trees closest? Shh. Okay. Thank you. And then this one. And then maybe this one. And I think that'll be good for the outskirts. Now let's put some trees around here. So let's put a tree there and there. So we can block that up there. And there. There. Maybe there and there. I think most of the trees actually in the place would be cut down, but maybe there'd be a few. There. 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 Alright. Now let's cut down. Keep all. I think there's too many trees here. Let's cut down this one. Oh, right. Let's cut down this one. Yep. Took a bit longer than I thought it would. Yep. And then... yeah, most of these trees I feel like would be cut down. So let's remove... not all of them. So let's cut down that one. Maybe this one. Let's keep that one, actually. And then maybe this one will cut down. That one can stay. Yeah, let's do that. Alright. Now let's add some big trees. There won't be too many of these. Just maybe add one there. One there. One there. And then maybe let's add one in the middle of the town. Maybe like right there. And then maybe we can move this one to there. Yeah, I think let's go for the big tree stuff. Alright, what next? So we need to add stuff to the ground. So I like to get this kind of stuff and just kind of literally just place it in the most random spots. There is no thought behind this at all. It's literally just, yep, that looks like it would be there, put it there. So I'm just going to quickly go and do that. It gives it more depth. So let's do that. Don't forget to do the inside as well. So we'll just go crazy with it. Because it's not too, it's just grass, you know. Grass it grows everywhere in forests, so it's just put it wherever you want. Whatever you want, wherever you so desire. let's get some grass B and maybe put it just in random spots too, like I have been doing. I say that as I might undo that because I think that would look good or better. There, 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 there. And we skip grass C because I don't really like it. It's kind of weird. I do like grass D though. Just little bits of grass. Although I do like to place these a little more sparingly because they are a lot bigger. Let's do that, do that. Did I place any grass B actually in? I don't think I placed any. No, I didn't actually place any grass Bs inside the place. My bad. There. 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 No, not there. 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 Maybe there. And grass C, maybe. I don't like this one. I don't like it. I don't like it there. It's annoying me. Give it that. There. 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 And there. There and maybe there. Oh no, maybe place one up here, like right there maybe? Yeah. There you go, so that's the grass on the ground. What else could we add? Chimneys. Stump, we've already added that. Boulders there. Flowers? Yeah, we would have flowers. I usually like to place flowers actually in the grass, like the tall grass, just to break it up a little bit. So same logic, just gonna place them everywhere. All right, there we go. Fallen log. Nah, I don't really feel like that would be here potentially. Bush. Now this is an actual bush. It's just like a rock, basically. Yeah. Do we really need more green? You know, I'm more tempted to maybe go for like. Maybe something like, you know, maybe we have like some guy chopping firewood somewhere. Not sure where. Where would I chop fire? If I lived here, where would be the ideal spot? Probably in the shades. I'd probably like here, honestly, because it would get pretty hot. Let's actually remove that grass there. I don't think there's no axe in, like a log, for instance. I don't think. Let me just quickly have a look. Nah, there definitely is not. Which is a shame. I could, you know, custom make, but it's a bit too much for this video. So we're just going to put a stump there and hope you get the message. Although, there is an axe that could probably, is like a... I'm going crazy, there's like weapons, right? Or am I thinking of... No, there are, but you have to have the right tile set, don't you? So... let's not bother. So yeah, let's say that's where, you know, that's where they chop down the wood. I think they would have basins. I don't know what they're called, you know, more buckets, but probably the same thing. I don't know. Let's just put some buckets around. I feel like some people would maybe be gathering buckets. You know, some would be full, some would be empty. You know, just people collecting water because this is probably what they would drink. Maybe, don't know how prehistoric we're getting. Campfire, we don't really need spectators, everything's made out of wood. Barricade, no. No. I'm thinking of maybe having a little farm area. There was farm plot, I do remember that. Where was it though? It was like here, wasn't it? Or garden rather. There is I know there's farmland. I just gotta find it. Here it is. Yeah, farm field. Center. center. Oh, okay, I see. I see. Honestly, I don't really like it. I don't know. Maybe not. I do want to use the space for something. Maybe I can put the buckets there. Let's think about it a little more before we just jump to do things. These are crops, right? Like I can't just do that. It's not really. It makes sense if it had. Maybe it looks better with actual farm. Let's do like. Maybe let's do this instead. Maybe this will make it look better. Problem is, it's like jutting out. I don't know. Let's just see what it looks like with. I guess it's not that bad. I'm trying to tell what these actually are. Those are carrots. I think this is wheat, right? This is cabbage, and that is berries. Okay. So we have 4 plots of land, so we actually can get all of them. Yeah, this is a small village, so everyone's very nice to each other. So like, oh yeah, you can, you know, this is the community thing. We'd have as a center. Oh no, it's not. No, I thought it was like a cross, and they'd like a split. But just trying to decide what looks better. You know, maybe it's like per crop. Yeah, maybe it's like okay. So let's have this be wheat and cabbage. And then this can be carrots and berry bush. So that's why I'd have that one, because there's only one berry bush. So it'd be like that, and then like that. Yeah, there we go. That's good. So yeah, this is how they get their food, other than presumably killing animals. For their sustenance. What are these little rocks? I feel like there would be little rocks, you know, it's a cliff. There would be some rocks scattered about, like the base, like here. Just place them around, you know. I'm trying to get things that aren't green, because there's a lot of green on this map. So, trying to get past that. Do that maybe. Just place it like in near the walls and stuff. Like maybe there. There. Not a lot, but you know, just enough for it to make sense. Maybe there. Nah, it's on the same Y level. Or X, I should say. Not Y. I always get them mixed up. Yeah, I don't like that last one. Let's maybe move this here. There's the only problem with MV. I wish MV had the layered system that MZXP does. What are they doing? Scanning, rocks. Would we need a scarecrow? They probably would need a scarecrow. Can I put it on the fence? No. Can I put it in here? Kind of, yeah, but it doesn't really make sense. I could put it here, but then it's like, Maybe they just get lucky, you know? Just scare them off. Or put like a drape over it. I don't know. They'll figure it out. We're really adding life to this village. Well, it's not really a village. It's more just like a little settlement, I guess, would be a better term. Maybe I'll rename it to that at the end. Yeah, it's coming to life, actually. I actually really like this map. It's pretty good. Pretty good. Anything else I want to add? I do want to add scarecrows. I just don't know. They wouldn't really go anywhere. If they could sit on the fences, or if I had another space to work with, that would be amazing. Like if I could put them in between the two crops. I can't, I'm afraid. I mean, I could, but then I'd have to put it there, and I don't know. That just doesn't sit well with me. Like if I were to do scarecrow. Like that, I don't know. I don't know, I don't like it. Anything else? Mushrooms, huh? I think there would be a few mushrooms. You know? Mushrooms usually grow in like damp environments, so by the lake, you know? Oh, you can put them on the wall? Now that, I actually do like that. Now, does it actually look good in-game? Or... Because I think that looks sick. That looks sick. Okay, I'm definitely having that. Just gotta figure out where I would want them. Mushrooms do glow on cliff sides. I know there are types of mushrooms that grow on stuff. I'm not sure if these are the type that would. But, I don't know. It looks cool, so, yeah. Yeah, let's have to spice up the cliff edges a little bit. And maybe place them somewhere. I don't know. I won't place them actually in the village because I don't think that really makes much sense. But I'll probably place, like, a few out and about. Maybe under a tree, because you can do that if I do that. How visible is that is the issue. It's barely visible, let's not do that. Let's put him like next to the tree though. Right here maybe. Don't want to have too many. I'm probably just gonna place them where there's giant trees because I think that's a good ratio. Something like that. And then that, and I think that's the only, 3 giant trees. I think that's good. You know, mushrooms are rare. And let's have some actually in the cliff. Now, do I want these ones in the cliff? Yeah, sure. Have both, you know. What the hell is this? It's like a weird flower. It's like a jungle flower. I wouldn't put it in. Alright, yeah, let's put some mushrooms in the cliff. You know, maybe do like that. Like that. Maybe. Yeah, this really makes it look better, I think. And then maybe like that. Maybe don't want to overdo it. Maybe I've placed too many. I think maybe we should just keep it to the high up areas because that makes sense. Because otherwise they would have just picked them for food if they're edible. So let's have them there. Have them there. Maybe, yeah, there. There and maybe there. And then maybe we can tell a little story. Like the reason the red ones grow at these haven't been picked up these low levels because they're actually poisonous, so that people don't want to eat them. You know? Let's do that. Yeah, look at that. I don't want them in the village. It's a bit much. Dead grass. I don't think there'd be any dead grass. It's too lush. There would be mushrooms. No dead trees. These are like decorative. I don't think those would be there. Fern. No. I saw something. I'm trying to see where it is now. There it is. This thing. Oh, that's pretty. Maybe I'll add some of those around. Yeah, lily pads. There won't be lily pads on the way, obviously, because that's not how lily pads work. They move, but once they actually get to the lake, I feel like there'd maybe be a few. A few lily pads scattered about, you know. The houses. Let's actually get to the houses. I'm not going to make interiors because we'll be here for like another hour. But I will do door. And then let's do a little event. So let's do. No, I don't need set movement route. I just need play. No, not stop sound effect. That's the opposite of what I want. I want door. About 30 seconds maybe, and then the door is locked. There we go. You probably choose a door graphic. That would I think that would do wonders personally. Now we need to add windows. They wouldn't have any crazy windows, I feel. Maybe these ones, because these ones are actually like, you know, you can put stuff on them, like flowers. A window there. Let's give it some red flowers. 2 windows. Let's just have 2 greens. That there. And green. Or red rather. And then that there. And then green. Little pattern of. So in the middle they got 2. They got grass, and they're single. They got red. And that's good. And then would they have a chimney? You have a basic chimney, I feel. I think there's only 1 chimney though. Oh no, there's a few. But I mean, it's like a brick chimney. I kind of wish there was a wood chimney. Is there a wood chimney? Am I missing it? Trying to think if this is an actual house. And they had a fireplace. Maybe they wouldn't. Maybe they wouldn't have a chimney, you know, because a fireplace in a wood cabin. I don't know. Bad idea in my opinion. So maybe we won't have a chimney. I think we're almost done, honestly. Let's see. Anything in C? You know, just some decorations, you know, just to show that the village is... No, I'm joking. No skulls, no death. This is a nice peaceful village. Where you click, oh, this is nice. But yeah, I think that's... I think we're done. Are we done? Are we done? I think we might be done. I really like this. I really do like this. Maybe we could add some crates. I'm just not sure where. Maybe we could have them like there, here. Maybe just like there. Just like a single crate, you know? Sure, that's where they get stored. Oh, I thought there'd be multiple. I would do that. Can't do it there. Put it there. And that box away. I don't know. Maybe not. They're like bags. I don't know any bags are there. Honestly, I think this is it. I do like it. This is the wrong map. I don't like this map. I was gonna say this is it's not as detailed as I remember it being. Like that. Yeah, look at this. I'm very okay, the mushroom thing might have to go, and I just realised there's a thing here. Obviously there's touch-ups. There's a few touch-ups. I will fix those. Okay. We're not completely done. So there's an issue here. Oh, we can't have the path. And that's fine. I'm sure someone's been shouting at me the whole video, like, please notice that, please. I'm literally begging. That's fine. Okay, we can move these mushrooms just down. You know, we can move them down actually onto the ground. It still accomplishes the same story, but like, why haven't these been taken yet? Because they're poisonous. Ooh. Scary. And then I'm gonna put another mushroom like here. I do kind of want to add the floral patch. It's kind of screaming to me. I've been thinking about it, so couldn't hurt, I guess. This little, just like a bunch of little flowers. Could add them on the grass. I feel like they wouldn't live on the grass. Let's add them around. Just, you know, place them in spots. I picture them like little. Like flowers you can pick up, like buttercups, like a bunch of them. They're not buttercups, but whatever. Yeah, honestly, solid map, I'd say. The only issue I have is that the sides are a little too man-made. I would have liked to extend them out, but I don't know. I just feel like it wouldn't have looked very good. And also would have made making the village a lot harder. And I'd rather make the village than, you know, I'd rather trade for a little bit. But yeah, now this should all be good. I hope. Oh, There we go. Okay, so you can't... Okay, so literally everything you cannot... Okay, that's good to know. So literally everything. So I can't place that there. It's a shame, but it will do. I will just move the rocks to like here. Okay, so it's just on the sides. Nothing can ever be placed on the sides. That's fine though. I think that's the only one. Scanning. Oh, yeah. Just seeing if there's anything I can walk up on. Doesn't seem like it. Hopefully I can't. No, you can't walk down. You can do that though. That's crazy. Okay. You don't have to tab out or close the game. You can just pause and then you can pause and then simply just move it down, right? I think that will fix the issue potentially. It's this one. Yeah, there we go. Now they've moved down, so now I shouldn't be able to. Yeah, no, now I can't just grab onto it. I think these should be this, right? Right? I think so. It's like that, right? I think that... Yeah, that looks better, I think. Because it's been carved, you know? It's just like... Yeah, okay. Always touch-ups, you've got to remember. It's always part of the process. Yeah, there's a few issues. Like, some of the things aren't connected properly. But I will do that now. Like, for instance, this needs to now be an edge. It wasn't previously, now it is. It needs to be like that. What else? Is it better? I don't know. It's very hard to decide. I feel like it's just a preference thing, really. I think it is just a preference thing, but I think I prefer it like this. Except if it's like a single tile, because I don't like that look. Not the biggest fan. And I went to find out whether I like it or not is to actually boot it up. Yeah. I guess we could test literally right now. Like, we can just change this back to that and see what that looks like. I kind of like it more. I don't know. I think here it's fine, but for like these ones, I don't know. I kind of like it like that because I think it just looks better. So I'm gonna do that because I like it. There we go. I like that. Let's just have one last exploration. Believe, yeah. Now I just gotta remake the entire thing. What? That was just the first draft, guys. We're now gonna remake the entire map. Yeah, I like it. The last thing to do is to add background music, which doesn't really add to the map, but it adds to the walking around bit. Alright, music. I don't really have the others, so. I guess we go town 1 and river. There we go. We should be golden. Yeah, now we've made the best map of all time. Job well done, Game Supply. Job well done. Look at this. I'm actually testing the door thing works, but you know, I'm sure it does. I'll test it in a second. Now let me just control water to make sure you can get up from there. But yeah, there we go. I'm not beating the box allegation, the house box allegations with this one though. I'll say that. That's a if you know joke. But like, it's such little space, and I don't know. I don't know. I just like my box houses. All right, they're easy, they're simple, they work with a bunch of stuff. You know, that they're good. They're realistic. They're just a box. You know, it's more a rectangle, I guess. But tangent over. Does this actually work? Yeah. Perfect. Look at this. Now, for any of those people walking around, I don't like people walking around. Person 1. Who do we want walking around? This guy. Random. And he'll just say, how do you do? Actually, how do you do? You look new. How do you do? Truly riveting dialogue. Okay, that's person 1. Person 2 can be maybe someone collecting water. So let's actually remove this bucket. Person 2. Let's go with this girl. Let's go with this girl. Stepping, custom. Wait 2 seconds. Like a little water sound effect. So after 2 seconds, she picks up the water. Turns right. Maybe wait for the sound effect. Picks up the water. Turns right. Waits 60 seconds and then drops the water. Which will just be a faster version. I don't think it really matters too much. Stepping animation. Wait. Play that. Stepping animation. Wait 30 frames. Stepping animation off. And then wait 90 frames. Turn right. Wait 30 frames. Play that, do that. Stepping animation. Same thing. Stepping animation. Wait, turn off. Wait 90 seconds. Turn up and then repeat. Yes, this is a good use of my time. And then directional fix. So say I'm a little busy at the moment. Feel free to talk to me when I'm done collecting water. Cool. Maybe we'll have some guy tending to the crops. Person 3. Let's go with this guy. Custom. So he's going to do probably the same thing, except less extreme. He's going to have stepping animation play for about 2 seconds. That's not 2 seconds. 2 seconds. I would do like bubble and all that, but can't really do it here. Stepping, wait, stepping, and then turn off. And then move right. Same thing. And then move left. And there we go. And then if you talk to them, they'll say, would you like to help harvest the crops? And this is a rhetorical question because you're not actually going to be able to do that. I'm not going to program a goddamn side quest. I will change his image to this one. And then I want one more person somewhere. Maybe they're like studying the mushrooms. Maybe they're like here. Person 4. And let's go with like let's go with this lady here. And she'll be very simple, she's just stepping. And then when you interact with her, set movement route, this event, stepping off. And she'll say, be careful, the red mushrooms are poisonous. I always forget to spell poisonous. Poisonous. I think it's that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's O-U-S. Be careful, the red mushrooms are poisonous. And then step back on. And there we go. Now let's actually see if all of this works real quick. So you're just some random guy. Look new, how do you do? And then she's not turning right because I'm probably dumb and turned on directional fix. Smartest man ever. So she picks it up, yep, and then turns, puts it in the bucket. A venting master. And he's like, I'm a little busy at the moment, I'm done collecting water. Okay, so that needs to change. She needs to go this event, direction fix, on, and then, well actually, nah, I'd say she doesn't. She's too busy to look at you. So she's just like, I'm too busy at the moment, can collect later. But now this should work. So she does her thing normally. Yep. And then I can talk to her, and I'm a little busy at the moment. Me, when I tell the event to direction fix, it doesn't do anything. What? Fine. I don't care that much. It's not like, it's not like how much my feeling. You go. Okay, so it does. It's fine. And this guy's harvesting crops. What a guy. I'm going to help harvest the crops. No, I wouldn't. And then we do got to walk all the way around, but I'm going to cut through because I don't care. So she's picking mushrooms. Be careful, those mushrooms are poisonous. And okay, she actually needs to turn back around. I always forget that they don't actually, you know, go back to what they were doing. You actually have to manually do it. Alright, there we go. And just like that, the map is done. Hell yeah. Alright, that's going to do it for this video. Quite a long video. Probably about 3 hours. I'm definitely going to edit it down like I usually do. I'll probably maybe edit it down to about an hour and a half. We'll see. I know people are here for the mapping, so I'll try and cut all of it out. But yeah, I'm pretty proud of this map. It might not be, you know, the best map ever made. Or you know, most groundbreaking or anything. But it's nice, it's simple. It's I accomplished what I set out to do today, which is play with heights, and that's about it really. I wanted to play with heights a little more to get used to it, because I don't really use height differences much, which I definitely should, because it definitely makes the map feel more alive. because this bit over here would not feel as alive as if it was just like, you know, more grass. I think this really adds to it. So I'm very happy with that. I did want to maybe not use box houses for once, but it's a pretty small area, so I didn't really... Maybe I could make this one, but I don't know. Either way, I'm happy with the results, and I think it's a job well done from yours truly. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.